morning, everybody. Good morning. It's JPR, and welcome back to another video. And today, it's not a scripted video. It's very off the cuff. I just wanted to have a discussion about the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes because, frankly, there hasn't been a lot of talking about them recently, and I just want to know, where did all the hype go? What is the problem here, if there is a problem, right? I just want to give my side of this, right? And so the easy solution is, it's like, okay, well, we haven't had a trailer for these games in the last 3 months. And, you know, we've gone about this amount of time without trailers before. Like, I think in Pokemon Sun and Moon, we went about the same amount of time without a trailer. And it was like, okay, well, people were fine with that. Granted, that was a brand new Pokemon game. But it's like, even before that, right? Like, these games were revealed on February 27th. And I feel like the hype went from 100 to 0 by, like, February 28th. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it didn't last very long. I've never seen games be so demanded and so hyped up and then just go to, like, nothing the next day. Like, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I've been doing YouTube for over 10 years. I've been in the community for forever, basically. And I've observed all kinds of fan patterns and reactions to this sort of thing. And I've never, in my entire life, seen a drop-off, like, this severe. So again, maybe it's because we haven't had a trailer in 3 months. I think more than likely it's because we have 2 different games coming up, like 2 completely separate games, which hasn't happened in a very, very long time. We have Legends Arceus, and I think most people, you gotta admit it, most people are more focused on Legends Arceus. It's the more intriguing, ambitious-looking game. Yes, it looks a little rough around the edges right now. It's not graphically the best game so far. We don't know a ton about that one either, but I just think more people are interested in that since it's new content compared to this remake. And that's fair. Like, you can't fault people for that. I think the other reason is the graphic style, though, like the whole chibis thing that they're going for. I said in my first impressions video, like a few months ago, when they first revealed these, I was like, I don't mind the chibis. It's not a make or break for me, but I know a ton of people were disappointed by the chibis. And even myself, I was like, okay, this isn't what I expected. You know, the expectations were a little off. I mean, you go back and you look at every other previous remake, they basically just take the style of that current engine and then just reskin it, and that's your remake, right? Like, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is basically a reskin of Pokemon X and Y, and, you know, like Heart Gold Soul Silver is just a reskin of Pokemon Platinum. I don't mean to use reskin like a negative connotation, by the way. Like, obviously it's not a bad thing. Like, those games made tons of money and people love those games and I love those games, so I don't mean to use reskin negatively. So no, that's not what's going on here. Plus, it just makes sense. It's like, if you already have the engine and the models and everything made, like, why would you make a brand new engine for a remake when you could just reuse that same thing and save money, right? Like, it's just easy reskin for easy money. Like, why would you not do that, right? So I think that myself and a lot of other people believed that, hey, these Diamond and Pearl remakes, when they do come out, they'll look like Sword and Shield. They'll be on Sword and Shield's engine with their same graphic style. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, I'm glad these games got their own art style because Sword and Shield looks awful. And it's like, not really. I mean, like, you take out the wild area, like, yeah, the wild area doesn't look that great, right? But it's like, you take out the wild area, the rest of Sword and Shield, I think, is a fine-looking game. Now, you can say it's not a good-looking game for a multi-billion-dollar franchise or however much money they've made, but it's like, you know, sure, you can make that argument, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think Sword and Shield are, like, that bad looking. Like, I wouldn't mind if the Diamond and Pearl remakes were in the style of Sword and Shield. So, I can't lie, even though I said that chibis aren't a make or break for me, they are slightly disappointing. It's like, oh, I was hoping for something a little bit more ambitious and modern looking than this, and I think a lot of people fall into that boat. Because now, these games looking the same, and they've said that they're gonna be like pretty accurate recreations of the original games as well, it's like, you know, what do we have to look forward to? We can't expect anything like brand spanking new in these games. I think the number one thing that most people have been excited for is just this rumor that Mega Evolution is gonna come back, which is like, okay, well that's all fine and dandy if you like that, but, you know, if you guys know me, or if you've watched my channel for any extensive period of time, you know that I get more excited about McDonald's coupons that come in the mail than Mega Evolution coming back. Like, to me, it's just not an interesting mechanic. Like, and then people always respond like, oh, if you don't like Mega Evolution, why do you like Z-Moves and Dynamax? Well, I don't like any of those. I don't think they add a ton to the game, especially if you're, like, remaking the game and you're just kind of, like, sloppily adding it on top. Like, it's not for me. I think it adds very, very little to the actual game and the replay value and all that, so it's like, I could care less if Mega Evolution came back. Plus, if Mega Evolution is in the game, that's just gonna make the Cynthia fight easier, because then Garchomp will be slower and it'll just be easier to hit with, like, a ×4 effective ice move, and then it just dies. So, there you have it. That's my argument against Mega Evolution coming back, but not really, so I probably have other reasons. But anyhow, if there's nothing to be excited about, those are a lot of valid reasons. Like, okay, well, it looks like a pretty accurate one-to-one remake. That's one reason. Oh, we haven't had a trailer in 3 months. That's another reason. Oh, there's Legends Arceus, and that game looks more exciting. And the graphic style of this game is a little underwhelming as well. Like, those are all perfectly fine, logical reasons on the surface for people to not be excited for these games. I understand all of that, right? But for me personally, I think the issue runs a little bit deeper. I think that we just are stuck in this cyclic nature of remakes. If you look at them, like when Fire Red Leaf Green came out 17 years ago, right? This is going to be the 5th remake in the last 17 years. Like, that's a remake every 3 to 4 years, basically, right? That's ludicrous. Like, that is actually way too many remakes for a franchise as old as Pokemon. Like, I know, Pokemon is 25 years old. That's nothing to scoff at, right? Like, 25 years is a decently long time. But there are plenty of franchises like Mario and Zelda and Metroid and Final Fantasy and dozens of other ones that are way, 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 way older than Pokemon is, but they don't remake games at the same frequency that Pokemon does. Like, I joked a few months ago that at the rate that they're going, in the next 25 to 30 years, we're going to have remakes of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which sounds crazy to say. And a lot of people were like, oh no, JPR, they'll never remake Sword and Shield, they don't have a reason to, right? Like, there's no logical reason. And it's like, okay, hold up. There hasn't really been a logical reason to remake, like, the last 2 to 3 remakes. Like, especially Diamond and Pearl. Like, there's no real reason to remake Diamond and Pearl other than just getting money off of nostalgic people. Like, in the case of Fire Red Leaf Green, that was after the transition to the Game Boy Advance, and there was this gap between Gen 2 and 3 where you couldn't transfer Pokemon, and so a lot of Pokemon were missing initially in Gen 3, and they're like, okay, let's make Fire Red Leaf Green to kind of alleviate that, and then after that it was like, okay, well now Johto's left behind, and Johto games haven't aged the greatest compared to these other regions, so let's remake Johto, and after that, it's like you run out of really justifiable reasons to make these remakes. Like, in the case of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I remember Masuda said that it was literally just the fan outcry that made them want to remake those games, because like people would just get on and they do that whole Hoenn confirmed type of thing on Twitter. They just flood the replies and be like, oh my god, it's the number 3, it's Hoenn, they tweeted a picture of water, Hoenn region, oh my god, it's happening, right? And I think they were just like, okay, fine, we'll do a Hoenn remake, because they were like, okay, these games will sell well and people want them, right? Even though these Diamond and Pearl remakes aren't being made by Game Freak, they're being done by a different company, it's like, they're remaking Game Freak's original property, so it's like, Game Freak is going to get money in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just a small cut. But basically, after they remade ORAS, they just kind of locked themselves into this cycle, where it's like, they've created this expectation that there's going to be a remake every few years, and the fans are going to be there in droves to constantly remind them. And then it sort of became the same thing for Gen 4 fans, where it was like, anytime they tweeted the number 4 or anything like that, oh guys, Sinnoh confirmed, here we go, and they would just be like, all these people, it just swarming the Pokemon company, and it's like, guys, just chill out. Like, I know some of you guys are most definitely joking, and some of you guys are actually serious, which is a little sad, but it's like, for those of you that are joking, remember the golden rule. Your jokes have to be funny. The whole Hoenn confirmed, Sinnoh confirmed thing, that was never funny. Like, it was funny for maybe like 3 days, back in like 2011. but it's not funny anymore. Stop. Like, you guys know me, Black and White are my favorite games, and Unova is one of my favorite regions, but even I don't want Black and White remakes like that. You know, don't remake Black and White unless there is a valid reason to remake Black and White other than just, we need money. Like, I know 2 to 3 years from now, whenever something gets tweeted out by the Pokemon Company, people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, Unova confirmed, and if you're one of those people, I am going to reach through my computer screen and just slap you across the face. Like, just stop. Just stop. This remake mania needs to pipe down. You know, I don't get why people are so constantly excited for these remakes that don't even need to be made in the... Like, there's nothing wrong with the original Diamond and Pearl. Well, okay, there's a lot wrong with the original Diamond and Pearl, but there's nothing wrong with Platinum, other than it being, like, a little bit slow. Just go play Platinum. You don't need it on your Switch, because then when you get it on your Switch, you complain about it and you say that it's bad. Like, we're already past the point where you can justify these remakes being made. They're just being made because it's easy, free money, and that's just the way to go. And it's like these remakes are kind of losing meaning as they happen, you know? So that's my take. Obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, there are a lot of other reasons as to why people may not be excited for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And if you are excited, that's perfectly fine. Like, I don't mean to take anything away from you. Like, if you're like, oh, I'm really excited for these games, I'm really looking forward to them, I am too. I am too, honestly. Like, I've been wanting to replay Sinnoh for a long time, and I think this is a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to these games. So I don't mean to take away anything from people who are actually looking forward to these games, because I am too. I'm looking forward to them. But I'm just saying that there are concrete reasons as to why a lot of fans aren't. And I also just wanted to give my whole spiel about remakes in general and how they're kind of losing their effect as time goes on. Like, they're not as necessary as they used to be. And quite frankly, I think Pokemon is just churning out way too many of them at way too fast a pace. But anyway, if you stuck around here to the end, I just wanted to go over a few other things. First of all, yes, I graduated from college on last Saturday, so that's awesome. And for a lot of people asking, no, I do not plan to become a full-time YouTuber. I am probably just going to stick to the current schedule that I have, which is upload every week. Hopefully continuing on Fridays. Maybe move it to Saturday whenever I get a job in the foreseeable future, hopefully soon. Like, personally, I just don't think that it's worth it to be a full-time YouTuber unless you have, like, 500,000 to 1 million subscribers and you have, like, that nice, stable base. I'm not there yet, so don't expect me to start uploading, like, 2 or 3 times a week. We're gonna hold off on that. However, I am always thinking of ways to make the content better and more engaging, and I have some really big ideas on the horizon. Like, there's this one video topic that I've been putting off for a while, and it's like, I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to make. It might be a few weeks. So I have some big ideas that I want to share with you guys over this summer. I'm gonna make another great summer for content, but I might need a little more time. But in the meantime, of course, you can always support us by just hitting the like button and leaving a comment. I know that sounds like super cliche, but like, you would not believe how much it actually does help. Like, I don't mean to blame the algorithm. I think a lot of people use the algorithm, like, as an excuse as to why their videos aren't doing well, but, like, it genuinely does help. So any support that you can give to the channel is greatly appreciated. And yeah, we're just gonna go with the flow and see what the future has in store for us. We're not entirely sure yet, but we'll make the best of it. Anyhow, that's all for now. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.